Thank you for joining us on Sozo Firm Insights with our host, Andrew Jensen.
Five common myths about charitable giving. Charitable giving is something many people care about. Millions of Americans donate to causes they believe in every year, hoping their contributions will make a meaningful difference. However, despite good intentions, many donors make decisions based on common misconceptions about how nonprofits operate and how charitable impact actually works. Understanding the realities behind charitable giving can help donors make smarter decisions and support organizations more effectively. Today, we're going to talk about five of the most common myths about donating to nonprofit organizations and what donors should know instead. Number one, most of my donation gets wasted on overhead. One of the most persistent myths about charities is that most of the money goes toward administrative costs rather than helping the cause. This belief often leads donors to avoid organizations that report higher overhead expenses. In reality, responsible nonprofits must invest in infrastructure to operate effectively. Administrative costs cover essential functions such as financial management, compliance, staff training, technology, and program evaluation. Without these elements, nonprofits would struggle to deliver services, manage funds responsibly, or scale their impact. Organizations that evaluate charities, such as Charity Navigator and BBB Wise Giving Alliance, emphasize that overhead alone is not a reliable measure of effectiveness. A nonprofit with extremely low administrative spending may actually lack the capacity to deliver strong programs. For donors, the better question is not how low are the overhead costs, but rather how effectively does the organization use its resources to achieve results. Number two, bigger charities are always better. Many donors assume that large, nationally known nonprofits must be the most effective organizations simply because of their visibility and scale. While many large charities do outstanding work, size alone does not determine impact. Smaller nonprofits often operate closer to the communities they serve and may provide highly targeted programs that address specific local needs. In some cases, smaller organizations can respond more quickly and operate more efficiently because they are less bureaucratic. Large and small nonprofits both play important roles in the charitable ecosystem. Instead of focusing on size, donors should evaluate an organization's mission clarity, program effectiveness, leadership, and transparency. Number three, donating goods is just as helpful as donating money. When people want to help, they often donate clothing, food, or household goods. While these contributions can be useful in some situations, they are not always the most effective form of assistance. Nonprofits frequently report that monetary donations allow them to respond more efficiently to the needs they see on the ground. Financial contributions give organizations the flexibility to purchase exactly what is needed, often at lower cost through bulk purchasing or partnerships. In disaster relief situations, especially, unsolicited donated goods can create logistical challenges and increase transportation and storage costs. This is one reason many disaster response organizations emphasize financial contributions over physical items. For most donors, giving money enables nonprofits to deploy resources where they are needed most. Number four, small donations don't make a real difference. Some potential donors hesitate to give because they believe their contribution is too small to matter. In reality, charitable organizations depend heavily on modest gifts from large numbers of supporters. A nonprofit that receives hundreds or thousands of small donations gains both financial stability and community support. Small gifts also play a crucial role in funding grassroots initiatives, local programs, and emerging nonprofits that may not yet attract major philanthropists. In many cases, recurring small donations, such as monthly contributions, can be particularly valuable. They provide predictable funding that allows organizations to plan programs and expand services. Even modest donations can contribute to meaningful impact when combined with the generosity of others. Number 5, charity ratings tell the whole story. Charity rating systems can be useful tools for donors researching organizations. Platforms such as Candid and Charity Navigator provide access to financial information, governance data, and transparency metrics. However, ratings do not always capture the full complexity of a nonprofit's work. Many social challenges, such as education reform, poverty reduction, or community development, are difficult to measure through simple financial metrics alone. Impact often depends on long term strategies, partnerships, and community relationships that may not be reflected in rating scores. For this reason, donors should treat ratings as a starting point rather than a final judgment. Reviewing an organization's mission, leadership, programs, and outcomes can provide a more complete understanding of how effectively it pursues its goals. Making more informed giving decisions. Charitable giving is one of the most powerful ways individuals can contribute to positive change. By looking beyond common myths and focusing on impact, transparency, and mission alignment, donors can support organizations that are making real differences in their communities and around the world. The more informed donors become about how nonprofits operate, the more confident they can be that their generosity is helping create lasting impact.
You've been listening to Sozo Firm Insights. For over 20 years, we've been providing strategic growth and leadership insights for businesses, nonprofit organizations, government agencies, and higher education institutions. Thank you for joining us.